Look, I don't want to preach to you from a high horse. I was not born decisive. I had to learn it through trial and error. My dad was a military man, and one of the most frustrating things for him was that I couldn't make decisions to save my life. He would try to teach me, it just never stuck. See, I thought I understood. I thought I could make decisions, and that was until the pressure hit. My first management role exposed everything. I would be presented with a situation and I would freeze. I would sit there and I would want to learn as much about that situation as I possibly could because I was scared I was going to make the wrong decision. I would secretly hope that the problem would fix itself. It would go away. And that's not how problems work. I would call everybody I could call that I thought might understand how to handle that. Sometimes it was my boss at 2 a.m. And to put it lightly, he was upset. I was sitting there hoping for certainty, waiting for certainty so that I wouldn't make the wrong decision. But certainty never comes. And the fallout from all of my lack of decision making, well, it hit quick. Those delayed decisions created disasters. See, they start off as small fires, but they quickly burn out of control when you don't extinguish them. I spent my time constantly reacting instead of actually leading my team. I wasn't as proactive, I was reactive to those situations. And so my team lost trust in me. Ultimately, once they lost trust, I was transferred out of the store. Not for lack of effort, but for my hesitation. Hesitation doesn't make a good leader. But before I left, someone hit me with a sentence I needed to hear. Leaders decide, period. They told me, shut up, make a decision. If you're wrong, we'll coach you. Sometimes that might mean a write-up. But if you're right, great. Just decide though. You don't want to sit there and be known as the person who can't make a decision. They didn't want perfect, they just wanted leadership. Leadership doesn't mean that you're right all the time. Leadership means that you learn, you grow, and you solve the situations. But it didn't click right away. See, I got transferred to the new store and I had a new team. But everybody there knew why I was there. I got transferred away from being bad at what I was doing. So the expectations were higher. All eyes were on me, and I had to be faster. And at this point, I said it was do or die. I'm making choices quickly, whether it's wrong or right. And at least if I go down, I'm going down swinging. Sometimes I was wrong. A lot of times I was wrong, but I learned. And then as I learned, I started making the right decisions more frequently, and my confidence grew. I realized that wrong decisions aren't always fatal. Almost never are they fatal, but indecision is. So decide. And around this time, I actually found a model that finally made some sense to me. You may have heard it, and it's that there are 2 types of decisions. One-way door decisions, which are hard to undo, and two-way door decisions, which are easy to undo. And 80% of decisions are two-way doors, so decide quickly. This was popularized by someone you may know, Jeff Bezos, CEO and founder of Amazon, in a letter that he wrote in 2015. See, he didn't create this, he just rebranded it. This decision-making process has been used by the military for decades. So I made this rule my own. You have 2 buckets, and they end 90% of your overthinking. If the decision's reversible, decide in 3 seconds. If it's irreversible, slow down, gather the information, and commit. Okay? Most decisions, however, are reversible. For example, dinner plans. Decide fast, and then just adjust if you need to. It's not life-threatening if you pick the wrong restaurant. I hope. But I still needed something I could use daily. So I kind of came up with the 3C framework: clarity, cost, and commit. It's built from years of hesitation with real reps, and it removes your emotional bias. It's fast, it's flexible, and it's repeatable. So let's talk about the first C, clarity. You need to define what the issue is. Okay? What matters today, not what's the right decision. Because you just need to decide what's going to matter in this moment so we can act quickly. Okay? What choice will my future self thank me for? Next is the cost. See, overthinkers fear the cost of mistakes. The real cost, though, is hesitation. Indecision drains your confidence and your time. So if you fear the price of action, wait until you see the bill for hesitation. What is this going to cost me if I don't decide right now? Now, real quick, if you're brave enough, comment the decision you've been too scared to make down below. And if it actually helped take some pressure off your brain, hit like and subscribe so I can walk you through the next part. All the engagement really helps my channel grow and allows me to continue making content like this. So the final C is, of course, commit. Whatever you decide to do, you need to commit to that action for at least 30 days, okay? Treat decisions like experiments. You're going to learn from them. There's no redeciding, okay? Confidence equals accumulated evidence. Your momentum is going to beat perfection every single time because you're going to continue to learn and iterate. There is no perfect choice, but as long as we're learning and we're applying that information to future decisions, we're going to grow and we're going to make better decisions in the long run. So commit to it, give it a fair shot. If it doesn't work out, then we can go ahead and iterate. And if you want help actually sticking to this instead of drifting back into old habits tomorrow, jump into my school community. I'll have it linked in my bio, pinned comment, and description down below. That's where we take the stuff past I should do that and turn it into real change with people who are done overthinking and actually want to move forward. So ultimately, what you should take away from this is you cannot lose if you keep deciding. I like to define life as the ability to make decisions. You're not truly alive if you're not deciding things. Every decision pays in data or direction. Wrong equals data. Right equals the right direction, obviously. Indecision robs you of both of those. Your movement forward creates clarity. So what's next? Well, making decisions is the easy part. Owning them is where most people fall apart. See, taking action feels good until you have to take responsibility for the outcome. That's where most people start blaming circumstances, people, timing, anything but themselves. Without accountability, every decision becomes a loop back to old habits. You can't build confidence if you refuse to own the results. Freedom comes from choosing. Growth comes from owning those choices. And if you're ready for that level of honesty, the next video is where we go there. Clicked right here. If you're ready for that level of honesty, the next video is where we go there. Linked right up here. See you next time. That's good.